Jamie George left heartbroken after England's Six Nations ends in agony against France. England captain Jamie George admitted he was devastated after his team's Six Nations championship campaign came to a painful end with a dramatic 48-46 defeat to France national rugby union team in Paris. The final match of the tournament at the iconic Stade de France delivered one of the most thrilling spectacles in recent Six Nations history. However, despite pushing the champions to the brink, the loss condemned England national rugby union team to a fifth-place finish, the worst result the nation has recorded in the competition. For George and his teammates, the defeat was especially painful because of the effort they had poured into the performance. The hooker admitted that emotionally it felt different from England's other losses during the tournament. "We are gutted. We are heartbroken at that, if I'm honest," George said after the final whistle. "We brought absolutely everything into that performance. There was so much emotion, fight and character out there, and to lose in that manner is incredibly frustrating." A tournament that fell short. England's defeat in Paris was their fourth loss in 5 matches during the 2026 Six Nations campaign. Their only victory came in the opening round when they defeated Wales national rugby union team at Twickenham Stadium. That early win had raised hopes that head coach Steve Borthwick's team could build momentum and challenge for the title. Instead, the tournament spiraled into a disappointing sequence of defeats. Losses to Scotland and Ireland were particularly damaging, both in terms of results and performances. By the time England arrived in Paris for their final fixture, their title ambitions had long since disappeared, yet ironically, it was against the eventual champions that England produced one of their most spirited displays of the campaign. That a match of pure chaos. The encounter against France quickly turned into a point-scoring spectacle rarely seen at international level. Both sides attacked with relentless intent, trading tries and momentum throughout the match. The scoreboard continued to climb as the game evolved into a dramatic shootout. George admitted that he had rarely experienced a match quite like it. That it was exhilarating, exhausting, and ultimately heartbreaking. Despite the loss, the England captain believed the performance demonstrated the true character of the squad. "A lot has been questioned about the character of this team and our performances," he said. "Some of that criticism is completely fair. But today showed exactly the type of team we are." According to George, the players had been working toward this kind of performance for over a year. While the result did not go their way, he hoped supporters would recognize the effort and talent within the squad. "There is still a huge amount of talent in this team," he insisted. Dominating the physical battle. One of the most encouraging aspects of England's performance was their dominance in several key areas of the game. France are widely regarded as one of the most powerful forward packs in world rugby, yet England managed to match them physically throughout the contest. George pointed specifically to the scrums and mauls, two traditional strengths of French rugby. "There aren't many teams that come to Paris and scrum France the way we did," he explained. "Not many teams maul France like we did either." Those foundations allowed England to build attacking opportunities and maintain territorial pressure. With that platform in place, the team was able to challenge the French defense repeatedly. Control from the halfbacks. England's halfback pairing also received praise from their captain. Fly half Finn Smith and scrum half Ben Spencer were instrumental in managing the game and keeping England on the front foot. George believed both players delivered outstanding performances under immense pressure. "I thought Finn Smith and Ben Spencer were fantastic in the way they managed the game," he said. "Their tactical kicking and decision-making helped England maintain territory and dictate the tempo during crucial phases." Meanwhile, experienced back Elliot Daly provided another attacking dimension with clever kicks behind the French defensive line. Those small tactical touches helped England maintain momentum in the opposition half. "At times it felt like every time we had the ball we could score," George admitted. Defensive problems remain. However, despite their attacking success, England's defensive performance ultimately cost them the match. Conceding 48 points is rarely a formula for victory at international level, regardless of how effective a team's attack may be. George acknowledged that the defensive issues must be addressed if England want to become consistent contenders again. "We conceded 40+ points," he said. "That needs fixing. We have to be better in that area." He also praised France for their attacking brilliance, particularly the performance of winger Louis Bielbayri, who has been one of the standout players of the tournament. "Bielbayri is quite handy in transition, for sure," George said with a smile. Frustration over inconsistency. Perhaps the most frustrating aspect of England's campaign for George was the contrast between their performances. The same team that struggled against Scotland and Ireland showed in Paris that they are capable of Competing with the very best sides, that inconsistency has been one of the defining themes of England's recent form. If you had the magic answer to producing performances like that every week, it would make things a lot easier. George said that he believes the display against France reflected the true identity of the team that looked like the England side we've been building for over a year. He explained, the movement of the ball, the physicality, and the attacking intent were all elements that had previously earned praise from analysts and supporters, yet those qualities were absent in earlier matches during the tournament. Discipline, England's biggest weakness. If one factor defined England's struggles throughout the Six Nations, it was discipline. Repeated penalties and yellow cards placed the team under unnecessary pressure and often forced them to play with reduced numbers. George admitted that maintaining discipline must become a priority moving forward. Keeping 15 men on the field is absolutely vital, he said. Our discipline has been below par and that's something we are very frustrated with. He also acknowledged that players must take personal responsibility for their actions during matches. While some incidents may appear harsh, others were the result of poor decision-making. The cost of slow starts. Another recurring problem for England was their tendency to fall behind early in matches. Both Scotland and Ireland built significant leads against Borthwick's side, forcing England to chase the game for long periods. When facing elite opposition, recovering from a large deficit becomes extremely difficult. When you're chasing a game by 17 or 20 points, it changes everything, George explained. It forces you to change tactically and you're not able to play the way you intended. If England could start matches more effectively, he believes they would be far harder to beat. A controversial moment. One moment during the match particularly frustrated the England captain. A confusing refereeing sequence involving the television match official appeared to influence a key phase of play. England believed they were playing under a penalty advantage, only to later discover that the decision had been ruled a knock-on. This misunderstanding led to a turnover, after which France quickly counterattacked and scored. Praise for Ollie Chessum. Amid the disappointment, George reserved special praise for lock Ollie Chessum, who delivered a standout performance. Chessum had delivered an inspirational speech to the squad before the match, emphasizing the responsibility of representing England as a united squad despite the difficult tournament. George believes the unity within the squad remains one of its greatest strengths. He revealed that the players and coaching staff have remained fully aligned throughout the campaign, even during periods of intense criticism. It would have been very easy for the group to splinter, he said. Looking ahead to South Africa, England now turn their attention to their next major challenge, a clash with world champions South Africa national rugby union team in the opening match of the upcoming Nations Championship in Johannesburg. Despite the disappointment of the Six Nations, George is eager for the opportunity to test his team against the best side in the world. I genuinely can't wait, he said. Playing South Africa on their home turf is one of the toughest tasks in international rugby, but George sees it as a valuable opportunity for growth. They are world-class and playing them in Johannesburg is incredibly difficult, he admitted, but it's an amazing opportunity for this group.